Hey y'all. Thanks for joining me for the kickoff of my new channel, the Real Retail Recruiter channel. I'm Jen, and I've been recruiting and hiring amazing candidates for over 30 years. I've worked some of the most amazing brands out there: Gap, Apple, Vans, and several more. On this channel, I'm going to be discussing everything from how to maximize your LinkedIn profile, how to use ChatGPT to create an amazing free resume, and other topics. What to look for in the interview process, red flags. HR is not your friend, no matter how nice they may seem, and anything else that you would like to ask. A few just disclaimers is one, everything on my channel is completely my opinion and based on my 30-year retail experience. This channel is primarily dedicated to people that are in the retail field, though a lot of it does translate over. And my hope is that I will be able to answer all of the questions that recruiters desperately want to tell candidates, but we're not allowed to because of our company and our company's policies. So today's video, the topic is called quiet cracking. I've read all about it. It's all over LinkedIn. It's all over other social media sites. Today, we're going to talk about what it is and what to do about it. So what is it? Quiet cracking is kind of like having a slow fracture versus a sharp break. Slow fracture takes time versus a fast break is kind of a one and done situation. So thinking about work, it's subtle, sometimes invisible, and the associate oftentimes gets to the breaking point long before anybody realizes that there's anything wrong. And what's kind of at the root of this? Stress, a lack of support, toxic work environments, unrealistic workload. Maybe you have a crappy boss. All of these things really lead to stress in the workplace that can lead to quiet cracking. So tell me in the comments, are you aware of this trend? Has this ever been you, or is this one of your coworkers? I think we've all kind of dealt with something like this at some point in our career. So now that we know what the definition is, let's talk about what some of the symptoms are and how it shows up. You may feel overwhelmed. You may be exhausted for no reason. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety, stress, feeling the lack of a safe space to share your concerns, or even worse, you shared them and they were ignored. Have you ever found yourself waking up regularly between 2 and 4 a.m. with your heart beating out of your chest and you're dreaming about work? That's not normal, but that is a sign of quiet cracking. And then thinking about what happens when you're at work, you're still functioning and what your boss may describe as a high performance, but inside there's a different story, isn't there? Inside, you may be dealing with an increase in your own anxiety. You may have an endless loop playing in your head of potential negative outcomes. And if you don't believe that this is a big deal in the workplace, the stats show that the cost to replace just one employee can be as high as 150% of their yearly salary. Just one. Add that to the loss of productivity to the rest of the team, company knowledge walking out the door, all which leads to additional turn. And companies will say, but we needed to cut back to be profitable. Got it. But if you really care about the company and want to save the money, then maybe you yourself in the C-suite should decline a raise, take a temporary pay cut, work in the stores yourself to see what the impact of your leadership has had on the employees and the customers alike. But oh wait, you won't do that, will you? And that's a red flag. It's a red flag when your C-suite doesn't care enough to ask the people that work for them what's working and what isn't working. They usually ask each other. They don't ask the frontline employees. They don't go into the front lines. They don't interact directly with the customers. No, of course they don't. So the outcome of cracking is often resignations, or how about an increase in employees taking leave of absence? I've seen this personally at a few companies where the LOAs all of a sudden start ratcheting up. That should be a clue to the executive team and the HR team that things are not going well, and they're not going well in the field, and it's harming their own employees and their employees' productivity and sometimes their own health. So what do you as the employee do about it? Have a conversation with your boss that's honest if you can. Depends on who your boss is, right? But be very clear about what you can and you can't take on and ask for help. Again, easier said than done. I know this for a fact. So you did this and you got shut down. Another red flag. Now what? Leave. It's that simple. And I know that you're saying, oh, but I've got bills to pay. But I want you to think about life is way too short to kill yourself, lining corporate pockets that in the end of the day don't even care about you. So start building an exit strategy now for yourself, because if you don't, who will? And believe me, if your performance slips even in the littlest, you know that your company has an exit strategy for you, don't they? They do, trust me. So some tips for me. Look at every single expense you have. Look at where your money goes. Look at where you could pull back or get creative. You know, a couple of years ago when I did this, I realized I was spending as much money on DoorDash as I was spending on groceries. I took a look at all of my subscriptions. I had subscriptions I had totally, completely forgotten about. And when I eliminated all of that, lo and behold, that was a step in the right direction in financial savings. You know, talk with your significant other if you have one. Be in sync. Create a timeline, create a plan. You may have been emotionally wrecked by the demands of your corporate overlords. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. I mean, people sitting pretty in the C-suite, but the rest of your life is up to you. Don't live somebody else's life. Don't live in somebody else's expectation of what you are. Break free and find your own joy, find your own path. Now, being that this is my first video, I would really appreciate any thoughts you have, any comments, topics that you would like to hear me address going forward. And if you liked what I had to say, please like and subscribe to my channel. Again, next video is toxic workplaces. And no, we are definitely not a family. Come check it out this Friday. Bye.